guys, it's Miss Limer again, just here to teach you about area and perimeter. We've done area and perimeter in class. We did two different kinds. We did regular area and perimeter, and then area or perimeter with a missing side length. Right now, all we're gonna be doing is basic area and perimeter. So I'm gonna show you the anchor chart. For area and perimeter, it's really important to remember that the perimeter is the outside of a shape, and the area is the area on the inside of the shape, right? So when we are trying to figure out the inside of a shape, the area, there's two different ways to do it. You could count the squares, or you can multiply the two sides. Now, the important thing to remember in third grade is that they don't always give you the squares. So you have to think about that. You can't count the squares if they're not there. So the best thing to do is to use our multiplication skills and practice multiplying those two sides. So the two sides, remember, you're gonna take a long side and a short side, the L, remember the L of the shape, and you're gonna multiply the length times the width. Now, you know that if it's a square, both of those sides are gonna be the same, right? Then we have perimeter. Notice I have rim outlined. Rim is the outside of something. So if I have the rim of something, that's the area or the around the shape, okay? So the perimeter is the measurement around the outside of an object. You only have one option here. You have to add all the sides, right? All the sides. So if I have 4, 2, 4, 2, I have to label them all and add them all. 4 plus 4 plus 2 plus 2 equals 12. Now there's some important things to remember. For area, you only need two sides. Only need two sides, okay? So if it has all four sides labeled, you ignore the other two sides and you only use two sides. Remember, you're looking for that L shape. So here we would use 4 times 6 or 6 times 4 equals 24. For perimeter, you need all the sides. So if all of the sides aren't labeled, it's your job before you do anything else to label all the sides. So on this one, it does already have all the sides labeled for us. So we add 6 plus 6 plus 3 plus 3 equals 18. So remember, we use equals for P equals 18. Something important you have to remember, especially about area, guys, is that, like I said earlier, you're not always gonna have the squares. This is more of a second grade or beginning of third grade skill. But now that we're toward the end of third grade, you're not gonna have those, right? So if we were to do this, we would count the squares, so 2 on this side and 3 down at the bottom. Here we don't have that to count, right? So here I can tell 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is my area, but here I have to multiply and take 2 times 3. Can I take 2 times 2? I can't take 2 times 2 because it's not that L that I'm looking for. Remember, you have to grab the two sides that are the L. One more thing to remember, guys, is that sometimes only one side's gonna be labeled. And that's a problem, right? Because for perimeter, we need all the sides, and for area, we need 2. But you have to look at what the shape is, because we know that when a square is shown to us, a square has all 4 sides that are the same. So if your shape's a square and it only has one side labeled, we can assume that all of the other sides equal the same as the one labeled. Here's an example of a rectangle. So if we need rectangle and we have to do perimeter, but there's only 2 labeled, and I say, oh, I'm doing perimeter, so I know I need all the sides, I know that the opposite sides are equal. So if this side's 7 and I can drag my fingers down and it equals the same, then this side is 7. If this side's 4 and I drag my fingers across and it's equal, this side's 4, and then I can add all of those together. It's really important to remember when you're doing area and perimeter to add or multiply carefully. If you can figure out what to do, that's the hardest part. Your addition and multiplication should be pretty simple for you. So remember, when you're adding, you might have to regroup. Same with multiplying. Don't forget about all that regrouping stuff. When you're finding area and perimeter, you have to be careful because one of them is addition and one of them is multiplication.